deliver Daniel, deliver Daniel, deliver Daniel. Didn't my Lord deliver Daniel, and why not every man? Didn't my Lord deliver Daniel, deliver Daniel, deliver Daniel? Didn't my Lord deliver Daniel, and why not every man? Roll, Jordan, roll. Roll, Jordan, roll. I want to go to heaven when I die to hear Jordan roll. Roll, Jordan, roll. Roll, Jordan, roll. I want to go to heaven when I die to hear Jordan roll. I'm getting ready for the judgment day. My Lord, ride the chariot in the morning, Lord. Ride the chariot in the morning, Lord. I'm getting ready for the judgment day. My Lord, my Lord. Are you ready, my brother? Oh, yeah. Are you ready for the journey? Oh, yeah. Do you want to see my Jesus? Oh, yes. I'm ready for the chariot, 'cause I'm ready to go. Ride the chariot in the morning, Lord. Ride the chariot in the morning, Lord. I'm getting ready for the judgment day. My Lord, my Lord.
Good evening. Good evening. May I welcome you to this, our 14th year of Legacy Readers Theater. Over the years, we have explored many themes through Black poetry and documents commenting on the Black experience, singing about our life's trials and tribulations, and dancing our joy and determinations. We have explored very penetrating subjects, from the place of the Black preacher in our story, our song, to the great migration of our people after the secession of Reconstruction, from about why our people sing the blues so well, to a celebration of our ability to laugh and maintain a sense of humor, and above all, a love of life through the beauty of our song to help us through it all. Through it all, you have supported us by your very presence and in other more tangible ways. Without you, there would be no us. We thank you big time.
Amen.
Tonight, we will explore yet another timely topic in our discussion of what makes us uniquely us, slavery. Yes, we got that memo that many of us don't want to go there, don't want to talk about slavery. Too morose, too sad, too much, you say. Not to worry. We are not visiting the narratives tonight. Tonight, we are considering the whole history of slavery, from the capture of our ancestors from the interior of Africa to our presence here in the United States of America today. And because we know that the woundedness of slavery still lives. We have figuratively chosen to address our observations to an imaginary figurehead, the judge. We invite you to enter into this discussion with us as we explore through poetry, commentary, dance, and song. Lights, camera, action!
Healing the wounds of slavery aims at healing and addressing the wounds of psychosocial, economic, and political consequences of the transatlantic slave trade and slave history. The hope is to create pathways towards personal, cultural, relational, and institutional transformation. The transatlantic slave trade and slavery created a complex system of oppression and exploitation by which many millions of people have been considered movable property in order to justify their dehumanization. These horrific events of human history have undeniably left their mark throughout the centuries on individual and collective memories, being at the root of social segregations and racial inequalities that continue to haunt our societies to this day. We now have enough research on this tragic history to be able to recognize that the intrinsic memory of slavery is traumatic in itself. The memory of slavery is painful to us, and yes, our people don't like to talk about it. Historians have unveiled the psychological consequences of the slavery system on the descendants of this tragedy. Therefore, it is essential to examine the trauma of slavery and institutional racism that continue to prevail in our societies in order to fight against all forms of inequalities and discrimination, as well as to facilitate reconciliation. Such examination begs a holistic approach to addressing the psychological impacts of this tragedy on both descendants of slavery victims and descendants of former slave owners. The aim would be to share and explore together ways and means towards a common healing and mutual recovery.
Slavery is the living wound under the patchwork of scars. A lot of time has passed, yet nations cry, sometimes softly, sometimes harshly, often without knowing why. Perhaps the most horrendous experience of the victim society belonged to a group who hardly ever mentioned in the literature the damned who survived, those who were deprived of their relatives who were the captured Africans. These included parents, brothers and sisters, uncles and other relatives and friends who knew and cared for the captives. In a way, theirs was a profound lot, a loss of deepest depth, for they were denied the cathartic benefit of a burial for their loved ones. Olaudah Equiano, the 18th century African abolitionist, tells the story in his autobiography of 1789 of how, as a greening youth, he and his sister were kidnapped right from under that igloo village by slavers while their parents were at the farm.
You've got miles and miles of grass to mow. So you're going to need a machine built to perform. Day in and day out. season after season. You're going to need a Gravely built to mow the distance.
Now at Myers Equipment and Supply in Dublin.
First Lawrence Bank invites you to experience banking at its best. Whether you have personal or business needs, we're a full-service bank big enough to handle all of your banking needs and small enough to provide you with that personal touch you've grown to expect from a community bank like First Lawrence Bank. Looking forward to your future. That's First Lawrence Bank in Dublin and Dexter. Member FDIC.
And yet, what we read is not the full story, only a portion of it. For Equiano's mother came home from the farm one evening to find her only daughter and youngest son stolen, never to be heard from again. We do not know her story. Nobody knows the story of her grief. The castle is a standing provocation to thought and action. Upon its disarming rest, a whole people's freedom. Cape Coast Castle, the metaphor and the edifice, is a society in itself, a society of experiences, a system or order whose fundamental concepts are planted in the disordering of our society. We kneel because it stands, and it stands for a system of production, distribution, and exchange. But it does not tend what it produces, does not nurture what it distributes, does not value what it exchanges. There is no tending, no nurturing, no valuing.
The fact is that the pressures of our societies today, the tributes we pay in blood, colonialism, neo-colonialism, even poverty in the lopsided world order, are largely the effects of the slave trade. In the slave trade, societies were ransacked. The land was gutted. Its human loan was washed to the sea. Its potential was stunted. Slavery gives the enslaved nothing but a legacy of pain, alienation, fear, and worst of all, a fetish erected around the denial of the fact and lasting effect of enslavement. It is a fetish that allows us to pretend that our world is whole. Thus, we nullify the castle by incorporating, then ignoring it. And so, we live in a shattered world with an eroded sense of history, in a world we swear is whole. Slavery is a living wound.
Amen.
Nana, why did they build the house?
I must escape from you, child. They said they built the big house to keep the slaves.
But what is a slave, Nana?
Shut up, child. It is not a good thing, child, that a child should ask such big questions. A slave is one who is bought and sold.
Where did the white man get the slaves?
You frighten me, child. You must be a witch, child. They got them from the land. You frighten me, child. I was not there. It is not there. It's too long ago. No one talks about these things anymore. All good men and women try to forget. They have forgotten.
So, the men of the land sell other men of the land and women and children to pale men from beyond the horizon.
There is one is now a memory island, considered as a memorial to the black diaspora and as a pilgrim destination for the African diaspora. The date remembers Goree Island. This landmass played an important part in the early days of African American history. Goree Island is a small 45-acre island located off the coast of Senegal. Goree Island was developed as a center of the expanding European slave trade. The first record of slave trading there dates back to 1536 and was conducted by the Portuguese, the first Europeans to set foot on the island in 1444. The House of Slaves was built in 1776. Built by the Dutch, it is the last slave house still standing in Goree and now serves as a museum. The island is considered as a memorial to the black diaspora. An estimated 20 million Africans passed through the island between the mid-1500s and the mid-1800s. During the African slave trade, Goree Island was a slave-holding warehouse, an absolute center for the trade in African men, women, and children.
Millions of West Africans were taken against their will. These Africans were brought to Goree Island, sold into slavery, and held in the holding warehouse on the island until they were shipped across the Atlantic Ocean. They were sold in South America, the Caribbean, and North America to create a new world. The living conditions of the slaves were atrocious on Goree Island. Human beings were chained and shackled. As many as 30 men would sit in an 8-square-foot cell with only a small slit of window facing outward. Once a day, they were fed and allowed to attend to their needs. But still, the house was overrun with disease. They were naked, except for a piece of cloth around their waist. They were put in a long, narrow cell used for them to lie on the floor, one against the other. The children were separated from their mothers. Their mothers were across the courtyard, likely unable to hear their children cry. The rebellious Africans were locked up in an oppressive small cubicle under the stairs, while seawater was sipped through the holes to step up dehydration. Above their heads, in the dealers' apartments, balls and festivals were going on. But even more poignant and heart-wrenching than the cells and the chains was the small door of no return, through which every man, woman, and child walked to the slave boat, catching a last glimpse of their homeland.
Lord, Lord.
Quality products and installations since 1985. That's 4 Seasons.
Nothing could be simpler. History simplified as a castle. The wind stands mouthing. Nothing can be heard except the rain roar of the past. To hear the rain recount its story to the roof, flash silver and sorrow. This history, a drop of amnesia widening in its pool. It hates to intrude, fears to offend. The past with the averted eyes is careful not to impose a gift of absence to the present. The weight of the braided days, a whirlwind coming home, the sun slowly binded by the clouds. It was dark then. It is dark now.
give memory nothing, and it is darker still tomorrow. I can feel the sea quietly rock our earth to sleep.
The inhumanity of man to man, mercilessness and hopelessness, treachery and cruelty to the highest order was displayed in the brutality of El Nino.
I wept and bled profusely in my heart. I shed unquantifiable tears of agony when I saw how African peoples had been dehumanized and abused with impunity. I was at the male and female dungeons, a point of no return, a point of despair. They are hot, stuffy, and suffocating prisons, congested in an unhygienic manner.
How on earth can any sensible human treat a fellow human in this unkind manner? Slave masters are indeed raw brutes. They were horrible monsters and murderers.
Africa and Africans have been cheated. Yes. Today, slave masters have turned away their heads.
Should we just lament and complain each day?
Or should we demand reparation?
Well. The story of fathers we tell, chained, beaten, walking in desert land, moving down the coast to the door of no return, saying goodbye to their beautiful soul. Their hearts melt with pain, tears of blood in their eyes, no help from anyone, walking in desert, no water to drink. Their strength failed them. They get to monument stature, the door of no return. Watch the ocean waiting for the ship to depart, saying goodbye to their soil where they were born, to the land they know not. The merchant priced them like fishes. The merchants select them like weevils found in beans. The girls satisfy their master's emotional desire. Our fathers cried like women due to torture. Some moved on like soldiers to the strange land. Others chose death, strangling themselves with their chains. Some chose to join the fishes in the ocean.
My Lord, my Lord.
I'll be
Darren Keene with Clements & Keene Insurance. If you own a business with less than 50 employees, we have things that are available to help you qualify for group health insurance with many discounts. These discounts did not exist 6 months ago. This is available through the Georgia Chamber Smart Plan. It's backed by Blue Cross Blue Shield. If you're a member of your local Chamber of Commerce or if you're contemplating becoming a member, give us a call. Clements & Keene Insurance, your health insurance specialist, 272-8019.
Within the desiccated mouth of its moats, its bloated Gold Coast walls in purged white, a coastal ghost in the eyes of black souls, dungeon one floor below godless men, one floor above on bent knees singing, songs of white ascent. Lord, sing they, we give praise. Our inheritance, plundering seas, ravishing coast, burning towns, keepers, our brothers' skewed souls, eating out their substance. We give grace, our pick, our perverse will be done to any one of them. Man, woman, we pick to have it done.
We mercenary merchants of misery, godless, holy white men one floor above on bent knees, bent on breaking the spirit of broken black internees, sheared crown to toe, branded, bound, inurned, one floor below, brick red, martyred in blood, smooth surface from shuffling, lumbering, catatonic back and forth pacing of interned misery, manacled insanity, parasoled umbrals, dark spots, cryptid beneath arches, arched low, convexed, bowed upward, outward by the rising, agonizing cries for mercy, one floor below, clamoring, clawing, handcuffed hands, dug dungeon wall cryptic names, hieroglyphic prayers, groveling knee-deep in 3 menacing months of accumulated communal feces, surging putrescent minstrel flow, no water, no food, no light, no breath, no air to breathe, pleading their last rites to say, remember me.
Oh, please. Remember the lingering taste of stench upon their tongue of man, woman, emaciated, eviscerated to break them, to weaken them against resistance, against sane revolt. Woman, man, dungeon, chained, knee-deep, a hellhole of edited rising tides of urine feces in search of resurrection. Lord. Always the rape to scourge, to break, to purge, diabolical dawning thinning the herd of them, unnatural selection through prescribed brutality, a purgatory prep for passage, the strongest, the fittest of them, the door of no return from the transatlantic barbarism, survivalists sold into 400 plus years of psycho-generational deep communal feces, surging putrescent menstrual flow. No water, no food, no light, no air to breathe.
Lord Jesus.
Raped, woman, man, raped, always raped, to scourge, to break, to purge them, one floor below, holy white men on bent Gold Coast knees, one floor above, bent on breaking the spirit of broken back humanity, inurned one floor below, holocausted, the door of no return, retching, Lord, remember the demon David and all his self-denials, our death, our destruction, one floor below spiritual men, one floor above on bent knees, singing their song, songs of ascent. Lord, remember this, our last night, our last to say. Remember me. Remember me, earned in atrocity, decanted carnage, poured the door of no return, a floor twice removed, coast to ghost, 2 floors above on bent knees, sing their songs of white ascent. Lord, willed me. Remember me.
Please, Lord.
Remember me.
Yes.
Remember me. Remember me.
Please, Lord, please.
Oh, Lord.
Yes.
Please remember me.
Yes.
We were led into the condemned men's cell, and as the guide moved to seal the door, a woman in the group screamed and ran out into the light of the courtyard, shouting that she felt something in there flying back and forth between the stone walls. And sure enough, when we quieted down, we could hear the faint cries and sense his frantic little bird heart rattling in his cage of bone.
So we all stood still in the musty darkness as the guide described the last days of rebellious slaves. How the soldiers will put 5 or 6 of them in and not open the door again until they were all dead.
My Lord.
And I thought for a moment of that last man waiting there with the bodies of his friends, or more terribly, strangers, arranged in a row beside him, waiting. But soon the guide reopened the door and we stepped out carefully, checking the soles of our shoes for feathers, except one man who waited motionlessly until he could hear the bird well enough to find it and cupped it in his hands, carry it out into the courtyard, and sent it scrambling into the sky.
Amen.
And the next night over Chinese food, a friend asked me what I thought of the slave castle of Elmina. And I shudder now because all I could describe before returning to egg noodles and the clicking of silverware on porcelain plates was the bird, the man's soft hands, the woman's screaming out into the sun.
Are you ready for something different? OFTC offers educational training that works. Education that's fast, affordable, with hands-on experience. From caring instructors invested in your success to a supportive community, OFTC is your path to a career opportunity. And most OFTC students graduate debt-free thanks to the Hope Career Grant, which offers free tuition in over 72 programs of study. Think differently about college and make a change. Choose OFTC. OFTC is an equal opportunity institution.
Portions of this program are brought to you by Fairview Park Hospital, a leader in healthcare for Dublin Lawrence and surrounding communities, providing specialty services through facilities such as our Sleep Center, Heart Center, and Women's Imaging Center.
Nana! Nana, why did I build a house? I must escape from you, child. They said they build a big house to keep the slaves.
Nana, what is a slave?
Shut up. It's not good that a child should ask such big questions. A slave is one who is bought and sold.
But where did the white man get the slave?
Oh, you frighten me, child. You must be a witch, child. They got them from the land. You are frightening me, child. I was not there. It is not here. It was so long ago. No one talks about these things anymore. All good men and women try to forget. They have forgotten.
Oh, so the men of the land sell other men of the land, women and children, to pale men from beyond the horizon?
Jesus.
Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade. Oh, in the water, I know that God's gonna trouble the water. Oh, children, wade in the water. See the host all dressed in white. God's gonna trouble the water. The leader looks like the Israelite. God's gonna trouble. Oh yes, trouble the water. Oh children, wait. Trouble the water.
Amen. Amen.
Jesus, Estrella, Esperanza, mercy. Sails splashing to the wind like weapons. Sharks following the moans. The fever and the dying, horror, the corpuscle, and compass rose. Middle passage, voyage through death to life upon these shores.
April 1800. Blacks rebellious, crew uneasy. Our linguist says their moaning is a prayer for death, ours and their own. Some try to starve themselves,
lost 3 this morning, leaped with crazy laughter to the waiting sharks, sang as they went under.
Desire, adventure, Tata, and standing to America, bringing home black gold, black ivory, black seed.
Deep in the festering hole thy father lies. Of his bones, New England pews are made. Those are the altar lights that were his eyes.
He's a Savior, island me, over life's tempestuous sea. We pray that thou wilt grant, oh Lord, safe passage to our vessels, bringing heathen souls unto thy chastening. Jesus, Savior.
Eight bells. I cannot sleep, for I am sick with fear. But writing eases fear a little, since still my eyes can see the words take shape upon the page, and so I write, as one would turn to exorcism. 4 days scudding, but now the sea is calm again. Misfortune follows in our wake, like sharks, our tutelary gods. Which one of us has killed an albatross? A plague among our blacks, ophthalmia, blindness. And we have jettisoned the blind to no avail. It spreads. The terrifying sickness spreads. Its claws have scratched sight from the captain's eye, and there is blindness in the fossicle. And we must sail 3 weeks before we come to port.
What port awaits us? Davy Jones or home? I've heard of slavers drifting, playthings of wind and storm and chance, their crews gone blind, the jungle hatred crawling up on deck.
Thou who walk on Galilee.
Deponent further said the Bella J left the Guinea coast with cargo of 500 blacks and all for the barracoons of Florida.
Lord.
That there were hardly room between decks for half the sweltering cattle, style spoon fashion there. That some went mad of thirst and tore their flesh and sucked the blood. That crew and captain lusted with the comeliest of the savage girls kept naked in the cabins. That there was one they called the Guinea Rose, and they cast lots and fought to lie with her.
Lord help us.
That's when the bows and pipes, all hands, the flames spreading from starboard already were beyond control. The Negroes howling and their chains entangled with the flames.
Oh, Jesus.
That the burning blacks could not be reached. That the crew abandoned ship, leaving their shrieking negresses behind. That the captain perished drunken with the winches. Father deponent said not.
Century 21 Durden Cornegay would like to take this opportunity to thank you for another terrific year. And on behalf of all the agents at Century 21, including Charlene Lamb, David Deeves, Delton Lamb, Benny Helton,
Jay Brantley,
Raina Duberly, Karen Widmer, Ryan Howell, Jennifer Bradley, Ruth Watson, Sarah Colby, Jim Jarrett, Charlene Brantley, Jody Tanner, Yvonne Robertson, Pam Tillery, and broker George Durden. Thanks for another great year. If you're buying or selling a home, commercial property, or land, count on the professionals at Century 21 Durden Cornegay. For more information, log on to c21dublin.com. Century 21 Durden Cornegay, broker George Durden.
I wanna die easy, oh Lord, when I die. I wanna die easy when I die. I wanna die easy when I die. Shout salvation when I fly. I wanna die easy, oh Lord, when I die.
I wanna meet my mother, Lord, when I die. I wanna meet my mother, Lord, when I die. I wanna meet my mother when I die.
island, and I have seen those factories. Gambia, Rio Pongo, Calabar, have watched the artful Mongols baiting traps of war wherein the victor and the vanquished were caught as prizes for our barracoons. I have seen the nigger kings whose vanity and greed turned wild black hides of Fellatop. Mendingo, Igbo, crew to gold for us.
And there was one, King Anthracite, we named it.
King Anthracite.
Fetish face beneath French parasols of brass and orange velvet, imputed mouth, whose cups were carven skulls of enemies.
He'd honor us with drum and feast and conjo and palm or glisten wenches deft in love. And for 10 crowns that shone with paste, red calico and German silver trinkets. Would have the drums talk war and send his warriors to burn the sleeping villages and kill the sick and old and lead the young and coffers to our factories. Lord help us. 20 years I was a trader. 20 years. But there was wealth aplenty to be harvested from those black fields, and I'll be trading still, but for the fevers melting down my bones.
Good. Good afternoon. City of Dublin Natural Gas Department, Yvonne speaking. How may I help you? You're smelling gas inside your house? Eric, at 709 Bell Drive, they're smelling gas inside their house. Could you go check it out, please?
10-4, I'll be en route.
One of our service personnel is being dispatched. At this time, please evacuate your home and move to a safe destination, away from the potential gas leak. Do not light a match, turn on any electrical switches or devices. Do not hang up your phone, place it down and leave. And please do not re-enter your home until a leak investigation has been conducted by our gas department.
Mr. Cates, I'm Brad. This is Eric. We're with the City of Dublin Gas. Are you say you called us about smelling some gas?
Yes.
Everybody outside? Well, what we're going to do, Eric's going to go to the side of the house, check the meter out, make sure everything's okay, nothing's running through the meter. I'm going to check around the door, and then we'll go inside and kind of see what's going on.
Okay.
Mr. Case, we went inside and checked around the ceiling, pretty much everywhere, all your appliances, and it looks like you're in good shape. The reason that we check up high around the ceiling is natural gas is lighter than air. It's always going to rise. We checked all your appliances. Absolutely nothing was indicated as far as gas leak goes. So I believe you're in good shape.
All right.
Ms. Case, we appreciate your business and being a natural gas customer. We're on call 24 hours, 7 days a week. If there's anything that you ever need, give us a call. We'll be more than glad to come out and check anything that you need.
Okay. All right. Appreciate that.
Thank you, sir.
Have a nice day, sir.
All right.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Shuttles in the rocking loom of history. The dark ships move. The dark ships move. Their bright, ironical names, like jests of kindness on a murderer's mouth, plow through thrashing glister toward Fatamagana's lucent, melting shore. Weave toward New World literals that are mirage and myth and actual shore. Voyage through death. Voyage whose chartings are unloved. A charnel stench, a smell of living death, spreads outward from the hold where the living and the dead, the horribly dying, lie interlocked, lie foul with blood and excrement.
Deep in the festering hole thy father lies. The corpse of mercy rots with him. Rats eat love's rotten, jellied eyes. But oh, the living look at you with human eyes, whose suffering accuses you, whose hatred reaches through the swill of dark to strike you like a leopard's claw. You cannot stare that hatred down, or chain the fear that stalks the watches and breaches on you like its fetid scorching breath. Cannot kill the deep immortal human wish, the timeless will.
But for the storm that flung up barriers of wind and wave, the Amistad, senores, would have reached the port of Principe in 2-3 days at most. But for the storm, we should have been prepared for what befell. Swift as the puma's leap, it came. There was that interval of moonless calm, filled only with the waters and the rigging's usual sounds. Then sudden movement, blows and snarling cries, and they had fallen on us with machetes and marlin spike. It was as though the very air, the night itself, were striking us. Exhausted by the rigors of the storm, we were no match for them. Our men went down before the murderous Africans. Our loyal Celestino ran from below with gun and lantern, and I saw before the cane knife's wounding flash Cinquez, that surly brute who calls himself a prince, directing, urging on the ghastly work.
That's right.
He hacked that poor mulatto down. And then he turned on me.
Yes.
The decks were slippery when daylight finally came. It sickens me to think of what I saw, of how these apes threw overboard the butchered bodies of our men. True Christians like so much just
Enough! Enough. The rest is quickly told. Cinquez was forced to spare the two of us, you see, to steer the ship to Africa. And we, like phantoms, doomed to rove the sea, voyaged east by day and west by night, deceiving them, hoping for rescue. Prisoners on our own vessel, till at length we drifted to the shore of this, your land, America, where we were freed from our unspeakable misery.
Now we demand, good sirs, the extradition of Cinquez and his accomplices to La Havana. And it distresses us to know that there are so many here who seems inclined to justify the mutiny of these blacks.
That's right.
Find it paradoxical indeed that you, whose wealth, whose tree of liberty are rooted in the labor of your slaves, should suffer the august John Quincy Adams to speak with so much passion of the right of chattel slaves to kill their lawful masters, and with his Roman rhetoric weave a hero's garland for Cinquez. I tell you that we are determined to return to Cuba with our slaves and there see justice done.
All right.
Or Cinquez, or let us say the prince, Cinquez shall die.
The deep, immortal, human wish, the timeless will, Cinquez, its deathless, spring-like image, life that transfigures many lives. Forge through death to life upon these shores.
Hi, I'm Jeff Cannon, President of Citizens Bank of Lawrence County. When we began looking for a location for our second Dublin banking office, the historic Henry Building looked like the perfect spot because Dublin and Lawrence County is our focus, and making banking easier and more convenient for our customers is our goal. Citizens Bank of Lawrence County, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
A local full-service community bank offering quality banking services. Citizens Bank of Lawrence County, now open in downtown Dublin.
Dublin Nissan might be the best kept secret in Middle Georgia.
And we have state-of-the-art technicians like John Lowry, who's been with us for over 36 years.
The Altima, sporty and affordable.
I'm Henrietta Williams here at Dublin Nissan. I've been here for 25 years. For your best deal in town, come see me.
Save gas and money with a Sentra.
We live here and we work here, and we love to give back the Heart of Georgia United Way.
Dublin Nissan, the only dealer you will ever need.
Ancestor on the auction block. Across the years, your eyes seek mine, compelling me to look. I see your shackled feet, your primitive black face. I see your humiliation and turn away, ashamed. Across the years, your eyes meet mine, compelling me to look. Is this mean creature that I see myself? Ashamed to look because of myself, ashamed. Shackled by my own ignorance, I stand, a slave. Humiliated, I cry to the eternal biz for understanding. Ancestor on the auction block. Across the years, your eyes meet mine. Electric, I am transformed. My freedom is within me. I look in the eyes and see the Spirit of God eternal. Of this only need I be ashamed, of blindness to the God within me. The same God who dwelt within you, the same eternal God who shall dwell in generations yet unborn. I see you sweating, toiling, suffering. Within your loins I see the seed of multitudes. From the labor grow roads, aqueducts, cultivation. A new country is born. Yours was the task to clear the ground. Mine be the task to build.
Amen.
I don't belong here.
Yes, you do.
Why am I here?
You're a slave.
I had on a shirt. Where is my shirt? My hands are bound.
Lord, no.
Why? Why? I fear I'll be sold. What is my price?
I don't know.
I can't be sold. Where's my family? I'm not for sale. Who would take me? I work hard. I'm strong. Why is my stomach in knots?
I'm scared.
The Lord my God is good.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Will he protect me?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Ain't God good?
Yes, he is.
I don't belong here. Why am I here?
To be sold.
I wore a shirt. Where's my shirt?
They took it.
My hands are bound. Why?
You'll fight.
I fear I'll be sold.
Yes, you will be.
What is my price?
Pretty high.
I can't be sold. Where's my family?
They took him.
I am not for sale. Who would take me? I work hard. I'm strong. Why is my stomach in knots? The Lord my God is good.
Yes.
Will he protect me?
Yes.
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 In March of 1857, the largest sale of human beings in the history of the United States took place at a racetrack in Savannah, Georgia. During the 2 days of the sale, raindrops fell unceasingly on the racetrack.
Oh my goodness.
It was almost as though the heavens were crying. So too fell teardrops from many of the 436 men, women, and children who were auctioned off during the 2 days. The sale would thereafter be known as the weeping time.
Consider the drum, consider Auction Street, and the beat throbbing up through our shoes, through the trolley, so that it rides as if propelled by hundreds, by thousands of fathers and mothers led in a coffle to the block. Consider the block. Top side smooth as skin, almost translucent like a drum that has been beaten for the last time and waits now to be honored for the music it has had to bear. Then consider Brother Moses, who heard from the mountaintop, take off your shoes. The ground you walk is holy.
Amen.
I'm Heath Richter, and we just want to invite everybody to come on down to the Houston Clinic and check us out at our new facility. We've been in Dublin for a while now, obviously, but have a new office here, and we'd just like you to come down and see some of the new stuff we're offering. And if you need to get checked out, we'd be glad to do that for you. We've got able to do some ultrasound-guided injections now, and physical therapy, and just a little bit better space, so hopefully we can get you in and out of here a little bit quicker.
Come by and see us today at our brand new location, the Houston Clinic, Medical Drive in Dublin.
We were stolen, sold, and bought together from the African continent. We were on the slave ships together. We lay back to belly in the holds of the slave ship, in each other's excrement and urine together. Sometimes died together, and our lifeless bodies thrown overboard together. Today, we are standing up together. Amen. With faith and even some joy.
Amen. Amen.
Many historians have used song lyrics to help understand the culture and consciousness of the people who sang and listened to them, especially when considering people who left few written account of their lives. Song lyrics can give important clues about what people thought and felt, their daily struggles, and their dreams about the future. Listen to the following lyrics. What information do they provide about the lives of the people who created them? What stories can you tell about the singers based upon the lyrics? In 1855, former slave Frederick Douglass related hearing the following song, improvised by Southern slaves.
We raise the wheat and give up the corn.
We bake the bread. They give us their crust.
We sit the meal.
They give us the husk.
We peel the meat.
They give us the skin.
And that's the way they take us in. We skim they pot.
They give us the milk.
And say that's good enough for you.
Oh.
this to wear this slavish chain, deprived of all created bliss through hardship, toil, and pain? How long have I in bondage lain and languished to be free? Alas, and must I still complain, deprived of liberty? Oh heaven, and is there no relief this side the silent grave to soothe the pain, to quell the grief and the anguish of a slave?
Heard you that shriek? It rolls so wildly on the air. It seemed as if the burdened heart was breaking in despair. Saw you those hands so sadly clasped, the bowed and feeble head, the shuddering of that fragile form, that look of grief and dread? Saw you the sad imploring eye, its every glance was pain, as if a storm of agony were sweeping through the brain. She is a mother pale with fear. Her boy clings to her side, in her cradle vainly tries his trembling form to hide. He is not hers, although she bore for him a mother's pains. He is not hers, although her blood is coursing through his veins. He is not hers, for cruel hands may really tear apart the only wreath of household love that binds her breaking heart. His love has been a joyous light that o'er her pathway smiled, a fountain gushing ever new amid life's desert wild. His lightest word has been a tone of music round her heart. Their lives are streamlet blent in one. Oh, Father, must they part? They tear him from her circling arms, her last and fond embrace. Oh, never more may her sad eyes gaze on his mournful face. No marvel then, these bitter shrieks disturbing the listening air. She is a mother.
Yes, she is.
And her heart is breaking in despair.
Yes, Lord Jesus, Jesus, Jesus.
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child, alone ways from home. A long ways from home. Sometimes gone. Ooh, sometimes I feel like I'm almost gone. A long ways from home. A long ways from home.
Portions of this program are brought to you by Cure Point Cancer Treatment, 2406 Bellevue Road in Dublin. At Cure Point Cancer Treatment, we're bringing you state-of-the-art cancer treatment right here at home. Cure Point Cancer Treatment. Check us out on Facebook.
Hey, I'm Glenn Register with Hometown Supply, and with the new year comes a new commitment for all of us here at Hometown Supply. We are committed to providing you with quality products and service on our full line of new and used appliances. We also offer service on most any brand of appliance on the market today. So if you need repairs on appliance, just give us a call here at Hometown Supply. And remember, if you can't do business here, you just can't do business.
When they took the first one, she howled. Her screams bowed the young cane leaves, twisted the green roots, lifted its hungry roots. When they took the second, her cries rose to the clouds, woke rainstorm from her slumber, brought showers tumbling down. With the third,
3 children.
Her sobs rolled backwards into her throat, drowned there. But by the fourth and by the fifth, her heart had become a stone.
Lord Jesus.
Nobody knows the troubles I've seen. Nobody knows but Jesus. Nobody knows the troubles I've seen. Glory, hallelujah. Sometimes I'm up, sometimes I'm down. Oh, yes, yes, Lord. Sometimes I'm almost to the ground. Oh, yes, Lord. And nobody knows the troubles I've seen. Nobody knows but Jesus. And nobody knows the troubles I've seen. Glory, hallelujah.
Amen. Amen.
We begin the second half of our witness to this imaginary judge with a poem we found on the internet, Facebook to be exact. Thank God for Facebook. In August of 2019, we found a poem From the Cotton Fields to the Kingdom. The rest, as they say, is history. For we reached out to the poet, Miss Gwen Woodson, someone we did not know, had not met, did not know that we descended from the same tree. Not only are we using her poem, but she is with us here tonight, all the way from Corpus Christi, Texas, and will join us in reading her poem, From the Cotton Fields to the Kingdom. All right. Some glad morning when this life is over, I'll fly away.
Yes.
To a home on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away. Oh, glory. In the morning when I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. Some glad morning when this life is over, I'll fly away to a home on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away. I'll fly away. Oh, glory, I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away.
The longest days, the heat of the sun rays burning through me like a furnace. As I pick until my fingers bleed, fall to my knees from a tired spell, but no one to tell that the cotton field is not my home. I feel alone as I look to the skies with tears in my eyes, asking God for a sign that my days and time in the fields of no one's dreams will come to a sudden end.
The time seems to stop as the sweat drops down my entire being. So much cotton to collect, no respect for a slave, will be worked to the grave unless my supernatural steps in and begins to take me from the cotton fields to the kingdom. I was told I was a queen. My palace awaits behind some pearly gates I've never seen. Years go by as my children join me under the blue sky. We become a field full of workhorses.
Oh, yes.
The crisp on our bodies from the blazing sun starts to shine. Every time the fields fill with the fluffy white substance that becomes our daily bread. No shed in sight for a break during the day, waiting on the night to fall so the sun can rest, and so can I. From time to time, I daydream about one day when the cotton fields are just a memory of my sweltering labor. No more, I say.
No more.
But every day, this place is where I must be. I wonder, is the real me buried somewhere on an island of cotton? Or does my freedom await? The field is not always kind to us all. Some fall, never to arise again. So we gather and we pray that someday we will be free. One evening, after the sun went down, I walked around the fluffy cotton field. Blooming time, so beautiful to be around.
I then heard an unfamiliar sound. It was a voice of reason. He said, "It's your season to break every chain."
Yes.
I listened as I walked slowly towards my destiny. I felt my crown sit atop my head as I walked a long way home, laid down in my bed and dreamed. When the sun rose again, my eyes opened wide. I realized my king left a message that said, "Here are the keys you prayed for, the keys you stayed for. A new, fresh place awaits. No more pain or shame or blistered limbs. Time to live, create new memories. Your palace has been prepared. You made it from the cotton fields to the kingdom." Thank you, Lord.
Tax season is here, and Jackson's Income Tax Service is ready to serve you. Jackson's Income Tax Service is open year-round to serve all of Lawrence and surrounding counties with all your tax needs. So don't delay. Come in today and get your taxes done and out of the way. Since 1987, Jackson's Income Tax Service has always stayed abreast of current and future tax laws and provided quality customer care while maintaining ethical and professional tax practices. Email Jackson's Income Tax Service at jits.tax@gmail, call 272-8681, or visit us at 610 North Church Street in Dublin.
So come to Jackson's Income Tax Service,
where experience makes the difference.
The Lord is my light and my salvation. The Lord is my light and my salvation. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Whom shall I fear? Whom shall I fear? The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Loud he sang the Psalm of David. He, a Negro and enslaved, sang of Israel's victory, sang of Zion bright and free. In that night, when night is calmest, sang he from the Hebrew psalmist, in a voice so sweet and clear that I could not choose not to hear. Songs of triumph and ascriptions, such as reached the swart Egyptians, when upon the Red Sea coast perished Pharaoh and his host. And the voice of his devotion filled my soul with strange emotion, for its tones by turns were glad, sweetly solemn, wildly sad. Paul and Silas in their prison sang of Christ the Lord arisen, and an earthquake's arm of might broke the dungeon gates at night. But alas, what holy angel brings the slave this glad evangel? And what earthquake's arm of might breaks this dungeon gates at night?
Do not take revenge, my dear friends, but leave room for God's wrath. For it is written, "It is mine to avenge, I will repay," says the Lord.
Amen.
When Israel was in Egypt's land, let my people go. Oppressed so hard they could not stand. Let my people go. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt's land. Tell Pharaoh to let my people go. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt's land. Till Pharaoh to let my people go.
Slavery, oh slavery, I cannot conceive why judges and magistrates do not relieve my downtrodden people from under thy hand. Restore them their freedom and give them their land.
Amen.
The loud voice of reason incessantly cries, ye lovers of mammon, when will ye be wise? How long will misanthropy reign in your hearts? Behold the poor slaves, and consider their smarts. Upon the plantation they labor and toil, exert all their strength to enrichen the soil, while the sun pours upon them its hot, scorching ray, without intermission, the whole livelong day. Hope God by his power will save them at last and bring them as Israel in ages that's past, out of the reach of proud slavery's chain, to enjoy the sweet comfort of freedom again.
Many are the roads of the resistance. Change does not roll in on the wheels of inevitability, but comes through continuous struggle.
Yes.
And so we must straighten our backs and work for our freedom.
That's right.
A man can't ride you unless your back is bent.
Amen. Amen.
I thought I'd lost my business in that fire, but my agent was there before the flames were out. He said, together, we're gonna rebuild. Our employees depended on it. My independent agent and auto owners made sure we didn't skip a beat. I mean, we didn't miss a single payroll.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there.
Curry Maffett Insurance, now located in downtown Dublin. Call 272-1234.
I made love to you. And at noon there, we sat on the small veranda of the cottage and listened for hours to the sea talk. I didn't have to look to see if it was still there. For days it followed us along polluted beaches where the boys herded the cows and the girls danced for the boys, to the money changer and then to the marketplace. It went away when the ghost of my mother caught me sitting beneath the palm tree. But it was in the van with us on the road trip to the country. As we zoomed past the thatch houses, it was definitely there when a few dollars exchanged hands and we were hurried through customs, past the guards, I was standing in the airport in Amsterdam, sipping on a glass of red wine, half lost in Van Gogh's swarm of colors. It was there, brooding in the corner. I walked to the public toilet to think about WDIG, buried in the mausoleum, with all his books and papers, going to dust. And there it was, in that private moment, the same image, obscene because it was built into a time stronger than the houses and homes. The seas of melon, the seas of ochre and trade winds, headed to a new world. I walked back into the throng of strangers, but it followed me. I could see the paved path where the slaves traveled, and I knew when they first saw it. All their high gods knelt on the ground. Why did I taste salt water in my mouth? We stood in line for another plane, and when the plane rose over the city, I knew it was there, crossing the Atlantic. Not a feeling, but a longing. I was in Accra again, gazing up at the vaulted cathedral ceiling of the compound. I could see the ships at dusk, raising out the lull of the amazing grace, cresting the wave. The governor stood on his balcony holding a sword, pointing to a woman in the courtyard saying, "That one! Bring me that tall, ample witch over there." Enslaved hands dragged her to the center. Then they threw buckets of water on her. She tried to fight. They pinned her to the ground. She was crying. They prodded her up the stairs, one step, and then another. Oh yeah, she still had some fight in her. But the governor's power was absolute. He said, "There's a tyranny in my language of my fluted bones. There's a poetry in every page of the good book. There's God's work to be done in this forsaken land. There's a whole tribe in this one. But I'll break them before they're in the womb, before they're conceived, before they're even thought of. Come up here. Don't be afraid. Come up to the governor's quarters, up here where the laws are made." I haven't delivered John's head or Pompey's or John's head on a silver chalice, but I own your past, present, and future. You're special. You're not like the others. Yes, you're special. I'll break you with fists and cat o' nines. I'll thoroughly break you, head to feet. But sister, I'll break you most dearly with sweet words.
Mid-State Pools and Spas knows pools. In-ground pools to above-ground pools. Mid-State Pools and Spas has over 35 years in the industry, building over 3,000 pools. We build all of our own pools, never subcontracting the work out. So if you're ready to build a pool, renovate a pool, or if you need weekly maintenance or liner replacement with a full 20-year warranty, call the professionals at Mid-State Pools and Spas. Visit our showroom today at 2273 Veterans Boulevard in Dublin and see the new line of Marquee Spas. For the ultimate in hot tub experiences, choose Marquee Spas. Also see our new selection of casual patio furniture, available now at our showroom, Mid-State Pools and Spas, where we know pools.
The poet Savannah Blue of Houston Public Media, says about the poem George, and I quote, "What inspired this poem is I was challenged by other poets to write a love poem. And so I thought about love. Love to me is being able to laugh throughout adversities, through challenges, through trials and tribulations. And so I thought about love during the era of slavery, when a husband or wife could be separated at any time and sold off. You know, families could be separated. You know, you would have to have a strong, deep love. And so that's what I thought about when I was writing this poem. That inspired me. It's just the idea of the challenges of love. And that's where the poem George came from.
I remember when I first met George on the plantation. I remember when he first come to the plantation. I loves George when we were shackled together, and I loves him when Lincoln freed us. His huckleberry skin must have been perfectly picked by God's merciful fingers. His loving gaze was deeper than them lashes on his back. When he asked my name, I was just a young and didn't know much of what to say. But Mama said he ain't no good. Ain't nothing good come from those fields. She said I ought not to love something so black, but something more like my own perfectly picked raspberry skin tone. I said, who's you rather me love? Because Master's violent touches dries me like summer fallow fields. But one night beneath the harvest moon, George reached for me with arm mighty as Mississippi floods flowing over my levees. He moaned, I love you, Bella. Even though he know I'm Master's favorite girl. And so that's why I love his aching, cotton-picking hands that rubs me to freedom. His fierce voice that speaks redemption. His huckleberry kisses that makes my raspberry skin quiver.
Whoa.
Ain't nothing you say gonna take it from me. Because our hearts make love when they's tired of beating. No longer shackled together, picking berries in dried up fields, we finally cried tears of reconstruction. We'd be free now. But no other home be ours before. So we watched the moon shine over a river that flowed by free feet, too scared to leave plantation. And I became the seamstress of white sheets Massa wore at night. My room bore his two bastards that he hated for years. But it be George. It be George that raised him like a proud daddy should. And I was guilty of watching them squeeze juices out my bittersweet huckleberry. I still see his tears rolling down his beaten cheeks. Mama. Our love is our only freedom. Now you go, Bella, and pray for our children. But who's I to pray to when the only crosses I see burns in Mississippi? I still hear Mama say I ought not to love something so black. And I still says to her dead spirit, who's you rather me love? Because Massa brought me to fields of dead berries he hated. And George knowed he'd die for loving Massa's favorite. But he loved me anyhow. So, Mama, ain't nothing you do gonna take George from me. Because our hearts makes love when they's done beating.
All right.
Follow the Drinking Gourd was a song created by enslaved African Americans. The song was actually a code of directions explaining how to escape from the southern slave states. The code told people who understood it when to leave, where to travel, and how far to go on each journey. Each lyric has a specific meaning. The drinking gourd was the Big Dipper, a constellation that points the way to the north. The old man and Peckfoot was someone from the Underground Railroad who met escaping slaves at the Ohio River. When the sun comes back and the first quail calls, meant to begin the journey in the winter. Enslaved people passed the directions along by singing this and other songs to each other.
Dublin-Macon Cardiology, celebrating over 14 years of serving Dublin and Lawrence County. At Dublin-Macon Cardiology, we're always committed to taking care of you and your heart. Bringing state-of-the-art cardiac care closer to home with a walk-in chest pain center. New patients are always welcome and no referral is ever required. Dr. Vega is proud to announce the addition of Elise Rotrammel, a nurse practitioner, to our staff. Drop by today at Dublin-Macon Cardiology, 206A Hospital Drive in Dublin.
The whistle blowing in the night. The cargo whispers silently. Death closing in all around them. Freedom growing nearer. Suspense overwhelming. Free!
Yeah.
Free!
Free!
Free! The cargo has arrived safely. Life is restored. Friend by a friend with a friend. Do you feel the fresh air? Air, fresh air. Gasping for breath. Running again. The past catching up. Gunshots sound. Dogs bark wild.
Lord.
No. The document signed. Nowhere is safe. Nowhere is free. Not anymore. Fear seeping in. The past approaching quickly. Freedom getting closer. The chase coming to a close.
Thank you, Lord.
Free at last. Free at last. Thank God. Free at last.
Yes.
My research has led me in different directions, much like a map with different routes to take. On one of the paths I took during the journey, I found was a poem by Frances C. Taylor. This is from her book, The Trackless Trail Leads On. Miss Taylor writes about the Underground Railroad in Kennett Square, Chester County, and surrounding communities in eastern Pennsylvania. Kennett Square is the city known as the hub of the Underground Railroad activity in the important Chester County.
On and on in the dead of night, the weary slave seeks freedom through flight. His clothes are tattered, his feet are bare. They bleed from frostbite.
My Lord.
Does no one care? He follows the star with a hope that shines as dark. Through the night, the trail he finds, the Underground Railroad. He hears its name. This railroad to freedom is not in vain. As God is my witness,
God is my witness.
I'll follow the star.
Yes.
Over the Underground Railroad. Though I know it's far to Canada's shore, but I'll then be free with manumission papers issued to me. Many hands have guided these weary feet from station to station. May I repeat?
Say it again.
The conductor that guided me have been led by God. By faith, that is free.
Amen. Amen.
All right. Amen.
The Underground Railroad continues to evoke imagery in many forms, stories, family lore, even poems like this one that tells of an imaginary mode of a slave escape, the airplane.
All right,
Julian.
Dear Master Swift, what it was. I have done my lives a leap and am safe in the arms of Canada. Ain't no use you looking for me. Ain't no use your slave catchers waiting on me at Trailways. I won't be there. I flew nonstop, jumbo jet this AM. Had champagne, compliments of the captain, who announced that a runaway Negro was on the plane. Passengers came up and shook my hand. And within 10 minutes, I had signed up for 3 anti-slavery lectures. Remind me to get an agent. Traveling in style beats craning your neck after the North Star and hiding in bushes anytime. Master, besides, your Negro dogs of Hayes and Allen stock can't fly. By now, I suppose that yellow Judas Cato done told you that I snuck back to the plantation 3, maybe 4 times since I left the first time. Last visit, I slept in your bed and sampled your salad. Had your prime quadroon give me she-bear. Yes, yes. You was away at slave auction at Ryan's Mart in Charleston. And so I knowed you wouldn't mind. Did you have a good trip, Massa? I borrowed your cotton money to pay for my ticket and to get me started in this place called Saskatchewan. Ooh, it's cold up here. But at least nobody is collaring, hobbling, gagging, handcuffing, yoking, chaining, and thumb screwing like you is they hobby horse. The mistress, Miss Lady, give me the combination to your safe. Don't blame the feeble old miss. Captain, I told her you needed money, and you sent me to get it. Don't worry, your employees won't miss it, and I accept it as my payment on my back wages. I must close now, Master, but by the time you get this letter, old Sam will have probably took you to the deep six. What? That was rat poison I left in your old crow. Your boy, quick skill. Can't nobody tell me nothing.
Ride till I can't no more. Gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Well, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more.
Here at Dublin Ford Lincoln, man's best friend is teaming up with America's best truck to get you the best deals of the year. We've got up to 25% off select F-150s in stock, and we also have 0% financing on select models. That's the treat even River here gets excited about. Our selection of Ford trucks will make it easy for anyone to find exactly what they're looking for. We've got well over 200 Ford trucks for you to choose from. Ford F-150s, Super Duties, the all-new Ranger. We got it all. Others call you customers, we call you friends. That's Dublin Ford Lincoln.
Does the date January 1st, 1863 mean anything to you? Yes. You will remember that as the date that Abraham Lincoln issued his famous Emancipation Proclamation, abolishing slavery in Confederate states. That proclamation has gone down in history as a brilliant stroke for liberty and equality. On that day, there was a lot of laughing and dancing among the black people of the South and blacks everywhere who had pined for freedom for a long time. Just imagine the joy. They had been slaves, and now they're free.
Joshua fit the battle of Jericho, Jericho, Jericho. Joshua fit the battle of Jericho, and the walls came tumbling down. Talk about your kings of Gideon, talk about your men of Saul, but there's none like old Joshua at the battle of Jericho. battle of Jericho, Jericho, Jericho. Joshua fit the battle of Jericho, and the walls came tumbling down.
What's past is prologue in his essay, as David Romaine asserts. David Romaine asserts that a discussion of the traumas of the Middle Passage and legacy of slavery resides in many genres of music on both sides of the Atlantic. Drawing comparison between 19th century slavery and modern police brutality illustrate the history of African American poverty and oppression. While the forms are different, the results are the same. As example, he shared, while the forms are different, the results are the same. As example, he shared Sound of the Police by KRS-One.
Now here's a little truth. Open up your eyes. While you're checking out the boom bap, check the exercise. Take the word overseer like a sample. Overseer, 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 officer, 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 officer. Yeah, officer from overseer. You need a little clarity, check the similarity. The overseer rode around the plantation. The officer is off, patrolling all the nation. The overseer could stop you what you were doing. The officer will pull you over just when he's pursuing. The overseer had the right to get ill, and if you fought back, the overseer had the right to kill. The officer has the right to arrest, and if you fight back, they put a hole in your chest. They both ride horses. After 400 years, I've got no choices. The police, them, have a little gun. A little gun. So when I'm on the streets, I walk around with a big one.
Okay. Well then. Well then.
When it's finally ours, this freedom, this liberty, this beautiful and terrible thing, needful to man as air, usable as earth, when it belongs at last to all, when it's truly instinct, brain matter, diastole, systole,
like a heartbeat,
reflex action, when it's finally won, when it is more than the Marty mumbo jumbo of politicians, this man, this Douglas, this former slave, this Negro beaten to his knees,
my Lord,
exiled, visioning a world where none is lonely, none hunted, alien. This man, superb in love and life. This man, he shall be remembered. Oh no, not with statues, rhetoric, not with legends and poems and wreaths of bronze alone, but with the lives grown out of his life. The lives flushing history of the beautiful, needful thing.
Yes.
God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, thou who hast brought us thus far,
thou who hast by thy might led us into the light, Keep us forever in the path, we pray.
Lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we met thee.
Lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee.
Shadowed beneath thy hand, may we forever stand.
True to our God, true to our native land. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died.
Yet with a steady beat, have not our weary feet come to the place where our fathers sighed?
We have come over a way that with tears have been watered.
We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughtered.
Out of the gloomy path, till now we stand at last, where the white gleam of our bright star is stamped.
Lift every voice and sing, till earth and heaven ring.
Ring with harmonies of liberty.
Let our rejoicing rise, high as the listening skies.
Let it be sound loud as the rolling sea.
Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us.
Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us.
Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on till victory is won.
Lord, I said, slavery is a living wound. And the Lord said to me, where does it hurt, my child? Lord, said I, it hurts on the reverse side of love, peace, and happiness. On the reverse side of harmony, hope, and joy. On the reverse side of trust, dreams, and optimism. And the Lord said, let me tend your wounds. Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. And so I rested, and the Lord comforted me in my distress. Amen.
Amen.
Walk together, children, don't you get weary. Walk together, children, don't you get weary. Walk together, children, don't you get weary. There's a great camp meeting in the promised land. All right. Walk together, children, don't you get weary. Walk together,